YouTube, it is I, Banded Wendy, on Monday, the 7th of February, 2011. This is my week 98 post-op, week 29 maintenance lap band. As many of you know, 244.6 pounds, 99 weeks ago when I started that pre-op liquid diet. And my goal was to hit 145.6, so 99-pound weight loss, which I did in July, 29 weeks ago in 2010. Last week I was 148.2, I had a gain, and this week I'm 146.2. So, 2-pound weight loss, not too bad, being that we had a carb loading fest on Saturday night prior to the half marathon. So I feel pretty good about being able to lose 2 pounds in a week. And I'm still on track and living each day the best I can. So I'm confident that I'll drop the 0.06 pounds to get back down to my goal weight. So I'm going for 145.6. But I've said this before. To me, the idea of getting the goal was like playing your most intense basketball game, per se. A sporting event that has 4 quarters, and you fight hard and you play hard, and at the end of the day, it's a tie, right? You get to goal, and then you hit maintenance. And maintenance to me is like sudden death overtime. And maybe that's just me, but I've talked to a couple of fellow bandsters, and many of us feel the same way, because we have gained and lost the same 100 pounds multiple times in our life. And so that means we're able to lose weight, and we're also able to gain weight. So yes, getting to goal was extremely important to me, but for me, the true test of my success with weight loss surgery is maintenance. The longest I've ever maintained a weight loss was about 1.5 years. So for me, I got to get to a minimum of 2 years in maintenance to feel like it's the right thing for me to have done, which was to have weight loss surgery. So it's very important for me. I take maintenance extremely seriously. There's no doubt that all of you do. But I come on here to talk to myself, to remind myself on a weekly basis about how I am not going to give up, I'm not going to give in, I've changed my life, and I'm working every day to continually change my life and become this new person that I am. It's so very easy to just look at the weekend fat girl, right? Or the weekend fat guy. So easily enters into your life, even after you've came so far, right? So it's a work in progress for me, and I don't know that it will ever not be a work in progress. So with that said, I'm at a healthy BMI. I could gain 30 pounds at this point and still be a healthy BMI. But I have been here now 6 months, pretty much, at 145.6 roundabout. And I'm really thinking about pushing myself, and it will be a push, to get down to 140. And I'm thinking that I'm going to target summer, June, July timeframe, maybe even July 15th, which will be the 1-year mark of maintenance for me. I want the cushion, I'm fairly strong mentally when it comes to seeing above the scale, above the goal weight. But it's tough, like, why should I have to be strong? I'd rather be stronger, fighting the good fight, getting down to 140, and so that if I have a gain, I'm still under my goal. I was talking to Melanie Scott about this last week, and she's like, oh, I bounce around 150, 154 all the time. And you'll get there, you'll get back down to your goal weight. And she's right, I will. But here's the thing. Mel's goal weight was 160, right? And she made that goal weight, and she's been below it for a long time. So when she sees that bounce, she's still anywhere from 3 to 7 pounds from her original goal weight of 160. So it's just something I've been thinking about for a while now, actually since I hit goal weight back in July. Maybe I need to go a little bit lower for myself. I feel good now. My clothes all fit fantastic. My husband loves me. I have, a body that I like. There's nothing about me that I don't like. So it's just a mental thing. So I'm thinking about it. I'll keep you in the loop on that. I don't need people to tell me that I look sick or any of that. I've been getting some of those comments lately. You know what? If you can't put a filter on it, don't say it at all. And the truth is, I don't take those things personally, because the people who are making those comments, it's about you. You know, step back and look at yourself for a second. So anyway, I'm fit, I'm healthy, I feel fantastic. I'm just thinking about ways to release some of the mental sudden death overtime. And I would encourage anybody who is at their goal weight to consider that, to go in a few pounds below, just so you don't have to have that mental sudden death overtime if you see a gain. With that said, the band, last week I had great eating, great water, excellent exercise, so all things are working right. I felt really good about the week. The band, you know, I had a really hard week in Ohio. It's better. The band is moody. You know, this is a weight loss surgery that is moody, but I tell you what, my husband, 8 years post-op gastric bypass is moody too. So just different, you know. And so sometimes the band's really tight, sometimes the band's not tight at all, and that brings me to talking about two types of restriction, which Melanie Sky Moon also spoke about a month or so ago, and she made a really great point about it, so I've been thinking about it since then. Two types of restriction. The first is it limits your portions, right? So you can eat 3 bites, you can eat a quarter cup, you can eat a cup. That's a good restriction with limiting your portions. You become satisfied very quickly, and the band does not want any more food. And then the second is that you feel full longer, right? That you can feel full for 3 to 4 hours is the optimum fill, or the optimum restriction level. I haven't had a fill since June of 2010, and here we are, February 2011. So that's 7 months. And I'm almost 2 years post-op. March 23rd, 2011 will mark 2 years post-op for me. Last week I made my 2-year post-op evaluation with my surgeon. So I'm hoping to get my blood work done, which I'm told to do at least once, if not twice a year. And secondly, get an appointment for a fluoroscopy, which I'm told to do 1 time a year. And I have not had fluoro since December 2009 at my 6 months post-op mark. And, you know, here we are. I paid cash for my weight loss surgery. I've seen a lot of different videos recently. My Banded Life, about she's got a dilated pouch. I've overeaten, you know, 10 times maybe in 2 years. Give or take plus or minus on that. I PB, you know. Not all the time, but I do it. And so, for all bandsters, including myself, I think it's really important to get the blood work and the fluoroscopy done, just to understand that your band's in the right place, you don't have any erosion going on, your port's not flipped, blah, blah, blah. So I'm really excited about that, to have those 2 things done. And third, I'm going to talk to my surgeon about a fill. Because I want those 2 types of restriction. And when I first get a fill, I have both of those. I have the limits of portions, and I stay full much longer. And that's like the perfect thing about restriction and getting a fill. And then over time, 3, 4, 5 months, that starts to change. You usually have, I've had more or less of both as time moves on. So it's been 7 months since I had a fill. It'll be about 9 months, 8 months by the time I see my surgeon. So it's possible that I'm going to get a fill. Portion control and making me feel full longer. I want the full 4 hours if I can. There's nothing better than not being hungry. There's nothing better than not thinking about food. I've got a 10 cc band, I got a long life ahead of me, and I think I got 5.25 cc's in there. So I want to use it, right? So that's something I've been thinking about this week. Second half marathon was yesterday, and who and I kicked some butt. Yes, we did. What a great race, you know. We were both really, really excited. We met up with Christina Matai, 83, and her husband, my husband, Ahua. We got our nails done earlier that day, and then we went and had Carb Fest, pizza and pasta. 2 hours to eat, but we got through it, so we had our carbs. Great race day. We were on the road by 6:30 yesterday morning going to the Rose Bowl. It was cold. My husband got to go, and he travels so often for his job, there's no guarantee. So that was really exciting. So we had Hua's friend and my husband cheering us on. It was trails, it was around the Rose Bowl, it was up hills. If you're familiar with Southern California, there's the 210/134, and then the 210 over here. We went from the Rose Bowl, 5 miles back and forth, all the way underneath the 210/134, back to the Rose Bowl, another 5 miles, all the way to the JPL parking lot on the other side of the 210, and there's a huge mountain separating those two sides of the 210, and back around the Rose Bowl and down into the 50-yard line, right onto the field there at the Rose Bowl Stadium. And the best feeling, I gotta tell you, was coming across that finish line and seeing my husband standing there with his camera, and we both just had huge smiles on our faces. Hua and I had gone into this race thinking we were going to do flat and fast in Huntington Beach. That's what we trained for. Basically 2 weeks ago we found out it was too late to register. Rose Bowl was the one that fit our schedule. Both of us hate hills, never really ran on trails. We were scared, we were intimidated, but we mentally convinced ourselves we can do it and decided it wasn't going to be about time. I ran my last race in 2:25:25, I think, somewhere around there. And lo and behold, I came in at 2:26:59 yesterday. So even though it wasn't about time, we finished really solid on a course that we didn't think we could do. So you know what, there is something to be said for pushing past your comfort zone, for taking the path of most resistance, and for facing your fears. And it's the best feeling, like the sense of accomplishment. I can't even tell you, like, so I encourage you all to do that. Push past your level of comfort. Take on your fears and try. You know, you have no idea what is possible unless you try, right? So excellent job, Hua. Great running partner. Thoughts along the run. You know, mile 6. You see the mile 6. You know, you see mile 1. You see mile 2. You see mile 3. You see mile 4. You see mile 5. You're smiling. You're feeling good. Mile 5, you start to get warmed up. You see mile 6, you're like, fuck, we're not even halfway there yet. Ooh! And then for us, that's when we started hitting the big hills and lots of rocks. And Hua had made a comment before we started running. On those hills, head down and arms pumped. And I tell you what, I took her advice and I beat those hills. I beat them strong, you know, better than I ever imagined I could. Then you get to mile 9 and you're mentally like, oh, there's still more to go, you know, you're past halfway, but there's still more to go. Then you get to mile 11 and it turns flat in this race, and you're like, it's less than a 5K, it's less than a 5K. You bang out 5Ks all the time, Wendy, it's less than a 5K. And then you get to mile 12, and you're like, you can see it now, you can see that you're almost going to get to that finish line. And you start to feel it, you know. I started to feel it. This area right here, I guess it's butt and hip. You know, I'm sure if you were seeing me, I had a little bit of a limp going on because it was hurting, you know. But I just kept my stride, kept my head up, felt strong mentally, was trying to overcome my physical self with my mental self. And then you make that final turn, right? And that's it. All you got to do is get down that final turn, So I felt great at the finish line. We finished strong. Who was a rock star? That was her 4th half marathon, my 2nd, and what an amazing accomplishment. Such a great day. So thanks, Hua. And thanks to everybody for your support last week, for your support yesterday. I had a gal send me a message saying she was shoveling a foot of snow out of her driveway yesterday, and with every shovel she thought about me running. And I read that to my husband, and I was just so touched to hear people thinking about me out there. So I felt your energy. I did it. I felt it. Thank you so much. What's next? I'm getting ready to travel for 2 weeks. I'm going to be in Las Vegas the 13th through the 16th. Anybody local? I'm always up for Starbucks. And then I'm going to Chicago the 16th through the 20th. Same thing. It's going to be freezing there, but I'm always up for a good Starbucks. So if you're in Chicago or Las Vegas, hit me up. So food and exercise are always really difficult for me to fit in and do my best during travel, so I've got 2 weeks ahead of me of travel. Thankful for this week at home. And as far as exercise and fitness goes, I'm going to start doing a Pilates reformer class here in downtown LA. I'm very excited about it. Probably going to start that the third week of February. P90X, the only barrier to getting that started is learning how to work my DVD player, but I have all the CDs and all the information, so that's going to get started the first weekend of March, and hope to finish that by the end of May. Also very excited about that. I will finish P90X. And running, I'm always going to be a runner, you know, but it's time for me to shift up my exercise as I prepare for my triathlon in the fall. So I'm looking at 3 to 5 miles, 3 to 4 days a week, probably 3 days a week, and then I'm going to hit it hard on a long run on the weekend, one long run. So I'm going to run for 3 to 5 days a week. I'm going to run while I'm doing the reformer Pilates and the P90X. So that's what's going on with me. I think that's all. I had written a bunch of stuff on my board. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. I had a good friend ask me, what inspires you lately? This weight loss surgery community. Every single one of you, you touch me, you keep me going, and the friends that I've made, the friends locally, having a running partner like Hua, seeing all of your goals and your accomplishments that you keep hitting, it's such an amazing support. So I thank you all for being a part of the community and sharing your journey with me. And Vegas, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing you all in Las Vegas at the meet and greet. So I'll try to make a separate video about that later. Running out of time. Going to try to post some pictures from the race in here, and I still owe you guys stuff from my Ohio trip, which I'll get there. So anyway, have a great week. Be the best you can be, and know that you can do it. Set your mind right. Get there.